Welcome back to ITOM Batch 2, day 37. Good morning. How are you doing, guys, today?
Good, Ajay. Good.
Good to hear. Thank you. Harish and Arati, do you have any questions from the last sessions which we discussed yesterday?
No, no questions for me.
Okay.
Nothing, Ajay.
I think today let's go to explore the threshold one and the alert aggregation and the grouping basically, right? So let me quickly share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible to you guys. Again, I'm going to use that, alert generator and simulations from event management fundamental course and how it will be describing there. Let's use that one basically, right? So on the first point, what they are saying, just check your all, uh, just close the all open alerts and see your service operation workspace looks like that only, right? So if I go and just check my service operation workspace, I am able to see there is no alert open basically, right? Now let's go and load that particular one. Let me use this one, right? Let me go here, generate event. Shit, my bad. Let me go back. Let me load sample. Let me do this, generate event. Okay, let's wait to alert generation of it. So basically what they are trying to do, they are just, trigger one event using this particular source instance, and here they are using the CPU running above 70% capacity, right? Once the alert is generated, they simply what they simply ask to me to go and open the alert here, and after that they just want to be close and delete the alert again basically, right? So let's do the same thing. Why they are doing asking to do that particular thing? They just want to be create a recommended in the event rule, and we can use further, right, based on that particular data, right? So let me go and close this one. Let me go back on again event un, and let me delete that particular same event as alert as well basically, right? Let me go back till the time. So basically what they are asking me to, like, go to event management, event rules basically, and see if there a recommended rule is created, because whenever we are triggering and there is no out of the box or there is no event rule is configured for that, automatically one recommended rule will be created, right? Which, just let me go and showcase you this one event rule. Right, so there are two recommended rules. If I click on the two recommended rules on the top, there is one rule which we just talked about, right? So CPU running above 70 capacity, that they identified there is no event rule match with this particular one, and that's why they mention this is recommended rule. If you want to be modified, you can modify that one basically, right, using the event rules. So what they are asking me here, just open this one, configure event filter like this. Let me open just to showcase you again. Yeah. So what the name they are asking me, the CPU threshold lab 3.3. I'm just using the same name, so there is no issue. ES script order is 100. Okay, let's Okay, let me close these things. Let me move to the event filter. They want to be the event filter like description contains CPU running above, because I just want to be trigger this particular one only, right? So I just put it, description is CPU running above, type is SN demo, source instance is PS, type is SN demo, source instance is PS, and classification is IT. So I just want to be delete the severities as well, right? So that particular event rule will be triggering when it identify the description is this. So type is SN demo, source instance is this, and classification is this, right? And after that, what they want to be in transform. I just need to be grab the value from the description and put it to in variable of the CPU, right? So here, what they did basically, they asked me to left click and drag highlight the value of 70 and do not include the percentage symbol. Enter a field name of the CPU, and then you know uh, hit your keypad and capture that particular value in the CPU variable basically, right? Why they want to be do? Because I just want to going to use this particular value in the threshold variable basically, right? So if I open this one, uh, they ask me not to capture the percentage, right? Let me put this. Now this particular value is captured using the regex basically in the CPU variable. What is currently value we have it 70, right? Which we have received for that particular machine or the CI. Now what they want to me do, observe from the top of right, click on this, enter the regex mode, and just want to check is correctly captured in the CPU, right? It's basically I can see here it's correctly captured in the CPU. Value is the 70 which we want to be look, right? Now they want to be configure the threshold section. This is something important, as I already Arati asked me a couple of times. When we enable the threshold, right, you are able to see that what are the operators we have. If I am using this particular operator greater than or greater than equals to, then we need to be decide which field we are using. Automatically you are able to see that whatever we have captured this particular value, that they are suggesting to use this particular field, right? So I'm going to use the CPU. Again, what is the threshold value we want to be, right? Then that particular event will be triggered. So they mentioned 90, we can use the same 90 as well. Means 70 we are already getting, but whenever the threshold CPU running above 70% is receiving, when we are receiving, till the time that will not. When we receive a event like CPU running above 90% capacity, then we want to be, right, occur they want to be create 3 over ideally 60. So let me put 3. So they want to be if 3 times we are receiving, then only. And this time is 60 seconds basically within 1 minute. Alert operator is this ideal they want to be, and over in seconds 120. Arati, this is the some configuration which we are doing. This is up to us basically what we want and when that event rule will trigger basically, right? As I mentioned, these are the operators which we can use: greater than equals to, less than equals to, or not equals to. Whatever we are putting, we need to be put that particular field name where we are capturing the value, and whatever what thresholds or whatever we want to be trigger that particular event rule. Basically, that is the use of the threshold. It means basically we are just trying to reduce the count of alert using that particular functionality. If sometimes use case is basically the source monitoring team is using that practices they want to be trigger the event on 70% utilization, 80% and 90%, but the another team who are responsible to work on that particular event, they already observe the pattern and they understand that nothing happening on the 70 and 80, right? If something is going to be on over 90, as well as that is not that much top priority CI which we want to be take care it, because that is not going to be impact anything. and reaching out from 70 to 90, it will take at least 10 hours, right? Based on the threshold or based on that observability, right? So they don't want to be create alert first of all, and they don't want to be create incident, because if alert is going to be create, definitely incident will be creating for them, right? And they have to be worked on it. So to overcome that particular issue, they suggested, or they come with that particular, so we can control the threshold at the service now side, where alert will not be generated till that, it's not matching to 90% value, right? So that is the use case of that, basically putting the
What
threshold
is
here.
what is the so what's the importance of the value being 70?
That's why I'm saying now, this is the some practices which is using, or which is used by monitoring team. They cannot control, they cannot, let me give an example. Let me think a, basic example basically here. Oh, let's say, are you no, 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 no. Give me one moment only. Let me think about it. Now, so basically, let's take an example. You are designing the ITSM process, right? Are you following the complete ITIL framework while you are designing the ITSM process for any organization? No, right? And or if you are following, like, when incident is open, that should be assigned to someone. Then, you can track the progress, what is the status of it, work in progress or not. And if it is going to be on hold by any XYZ reasons, that should be up to date, right? Then it should be resolved, and then it should be closed, right? This is the basic ITSM process, basically, when you are designing, right? But there is one customer came to you, and he mentioned, I don't want to be resolve my incident, and I don't want to be wait for 7 days. I want, if issue is fixed by the support team, immediately that issue will be closed once incident is resolved. They don't want to go with the resolve state. They want to directly move out to the close. Basically, what will happen out of the process, you have to be resolve the incident, and after 7 days, automatically that will move to resolve to close state. Meanwhile, within 7 days, if there is an issue, you can that, support a customer team or whatever who raised that particular incident, reopen that incident to be checked with again that particular team. But he don't want to do that. He don't want to be, he want to be overcome that particular reopening incidents. And he mentioned, I don't want to be resolved, I want to be closed directly that incidents, basically, right? The same way what we are doing here, monitoring systems are sending you events whenever they breach the threshold. They configured, that particular 70, 80, 90 threshold over the, all of the devices, whatever they are monitoring, that they are best practice, right? They are triggering event on 70, 80, 90, whatever the thresholds they have configured with that, whatever the severities they have configured, right? But the business and the support team says, I don't want to be create an alert for that 71. I don't want to be create an alert for 81. Right. Whenever only threshold is going to be crossed 90%, then I want to be create an alert. Right. There is another way we can apply a filter based on the severity directly, but this case is not about the severity. Case is all about the threshold here. So whenever threshold is going to be breached, then we are going to be do, right? So 70, what we have captured in the CPU variable, this is the percentage of that, CPU running on that particular CI. And now what we want to be create alert when threshold value is increased more than 90%. We are putting greater than. If we put less than, it will be means if whatever whenever time it will be below 90, every time we will raising the incidents. Getting my point?
Yes, but what about the occurs is 3 and over 60 seconds?
Over 60 seconds and occurs 3 means 3 event will receive within 60 seconds, means interval of 60 seconds. If the interval is more than that, with the event received, example, event received on 725 with the 90% threshold. It doesn't mean ki we immediately create an alert, right? We will wait. And if second event received within 60 seconds and next event is also received within 60 seconds, then we are. If that event will receive after 5 minutes, right, or 120 seconds or 180 seconds, right, then we are not doing, or we are not triggering that particular event rule basically for that. Getting my point? An ideal operator or over 120 seconds, if that particular on that particular event is nothing changing within 120 seconds, automatically close that event basically, right? So that is the purpose of it, right? So they want to be trigger for greater than basically, right? Let's try to do that. Basically whatever they want, we have configured. Now they want to be generate an event again. The last sample, whatever we used it, let me use this one. Now in upper right, click this. Let me go to event generator. Load sample. This. Okay. We have loaded that event. In the upper, they want to be enter 5 and 2 in advanced generator. Number of events, how many events we want to be. Now what they are trying to say, we need to be generate 5 events. Let's not generate 5. Let's not follow that one. I just want to generate 2 events, but event interval seconds. Let me put 70 seconds for now, right? I'm not following that one, just to showcase you nothing will be happen when we are doing this one, right? Because that is not matching that criteria which we define in our this event rule. Getting my point? Let's do that, right? So immediately you can see the 2 events is generated, right? Where is another one? Now let me open this one. If you see that event is generated just now, which we have generated above 70 capacity, but because there is no event rule applied, that is triggered and converted to an event alert. So what is the difference between now? Basically, when we are want to be, trigger that type of event, we need to use some different condition to be convert basically. And as well as when we want to be trigger this one, basically this one, then we need to be up, yeah, like as we already put it some filter conditions here, but as if you see, that will trigger only if CPU running above we are getting in the description, and this is the information right here, that all informations we are getting, like it's PS, SN demo, classification is I think not there, but we are getting description like that, but severity is also there, right? That not matching that particular event rule. So that's why it's generated and created, but that one is not triggered. Whatever event rule we have configured here, that is not triggered here basically, right? Now let's generate the another one basically. Let me generate one here. Let me use the advanced generator again. They mentioned 3, sorry, they mentioned 5 and they want to be 2. I think that's right. Right. And then okay. Every 2 seconds they are generating. See, they are generating here. and these are processed basically. Let's see. How many are generated now? Two we have generated earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they have generated 5 and message key is the same and they have just tagged with the all earlier event, but that should not be. I think we need to be resolve that last one. Let me open this particular event. That's why that is just, mapping the existing one. Let me again open and delete that one. Once I deleted, yeah, that is resolved now. Hmm. Okay, let me open. I think we saved that particular event, Shul, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Let me update this one again. Right, now let's generate the event again and let's see. Event generator. Okay. Load sample. They want to use this one. Okay. I've just loaded. Then they want to be click 5 and 2 on advanced generator. 5 and 2 and okay. Let's wait and see. It's again processing. I think there is some issue with us. But basically what they are saying here, when we are click on this one, generate a sequence of CPU event, not one event every 2 seconds for 5 times. And here you can see why is no alert generated when 5 major events are created approximately within 10 seconds. Review the earlier configuration of the previous section for answer. Basically, they just want to be mentioned, go and see this one. So that if I already mentioned here, the threshold suppress the generation of the alert unless more than 3 events occur within 60 seconds and the value of the CPU is 90. The alert close when no further event occur for 120 seconds. Right? So that I just mentioned to you that is happening here. But still, I think there is some issue with my event rule, whatever I just configured and whatever we are using. I think let's see, let's check that one. See, CPU, I think whatever we have configured, CPU threshold left 3.3. Let's see what is the issue because that is not triggering, right? So whatever CPU threshold, PSS script 100, what is the event filter they want to be? Description is CPU running above, type is SNDemo, source instance is PS, classification is IT. I think then we are good. And that all condition are in and transform compose alert. I think there is some issue with this one. Let me check right away. Next is this. That is also looks good. CPU running above is this with the capacity. You have captured this one only. There is some issue. CPU running above this. Let me delete this one. Reset. Cancel. Oh, sorry. Reset. Done. Let's take description again. This CPU. This done. We have captured the value. Again, this is correct. CPU running above this. Cancel. I think we have just. Okay, from the top right, this enter the regex model over this. Then we done it, right? That is done. Let's check the threshold. It's active. It's create alert is greater than CPU 90, 360. Okay, this is the reason only. It's threshold value is 90.0. That's why it's creating some issues, right? Accuracy over 60 seconds, ideal 120 seconds. Now binding we are using out of the box. Let me save this and update this. I think now let's do one thing. Let's close this one again. Otherwise, alert will be generating for this only. And let me delete this again. Okay, let's go to event generator. Let me refresh this. Right? Threshold is this what we want, number of event this and this. Let's see. Shit, that are still processing. There is some issue with my event rule. Because what is happening if I open that not using my event rule, there's that no event rule is applying basically. Right, right. That's why it's creating that one. I think we need to be fix the event rule first of all. So no event rule applied on that one. But let's see one more way to do that. Now they just want to use this one. Let's try to see whatever. This load sample, load this lab 3.3. In the choose event sample dialogs box, enter lab 3.3 and wait for filter. From the list, select lab 3.3 uses 3 and click. Okay. We are not using CPU uses 2. And what we are using? CPU uses 2. Okay. Then we are going to this. Let me do one thing again. This. An advanced generator 5 and 2. And then alert will be generating, right? Let's click on this. Load sample this advanced generator is 5 and 2, and let's click on this. So what basically we did in this particular event, we increased the event sorry description may threshold value is 91%, right? So let's see on that one. Basically that is going to be tagged with the same event only, which is already right. This one. Now if I open this one, here it's again saying no event rule applied. What is this? There is some issue with my event rule, basically. I think need to be explored that one. I think it will be, this is nothing, this is something interesting. Basically, we have configured the event rule, but still, whenever we are triggering that event, that is showing no event rule applied. And based on that, whatever we have configured, we are thinking or assuming like whatever that particular event rule which we have just configured that should be triggered, but that is not happening, right? So let's troubleshoot this one, or let's try to, you guys, you just try to explore from your side, and I think Monday we'll discuss again what is the issue with that, and I will tell you on that particular point basically. right? So create custom. I think they have also given that, challenge task basically, create custom threshold on this one and trigger that one, right? And you can also do, there is no service now event management instance is required. You can also do from your manual in normal PDI basically, and you can configure those particular things directly there, right? There is no issue with that, right? So go and configure and try that from your side, and I will tell you on the Monday basically what is the issue basically on that particular thing. Okay, any questions in it? I think there is some issue with the event rules. Hello,
The
are you
name of
guys
the
talking to
course?
me? Yes, Lalit?
What is the name of this course? Um,
That is event management fundamental.
okay, event management fundamental. Thank you.
Event management fundamental on demand.
Got it. Thank
Yeah, just you can try and that complete to test complete events or the things. There is one guide or PDF will be provided by them. You can use that one. That is very good or comprehensive. Whatever the test case or use cases I have given just you, all is mostly all of them is covered in that one, right? And the threshold one. I just need to check because I have not followed the complete step by step things basically. So might be in the last step somewhere we are configuring any event rule which is not generating the out of the box one, or no event rule will be generating to convert to an alert, right? So I'm miss that one, but I can check and let you know how we can cover or we can complete that one. Otherwise, there's no issue with that. That will be event. The main agenda of that using the threshold is converting the alert on if the threshold is crossing 90% only. For the 70% it will not collect, and this is something they are trying to showcase here as well. If you see right here, so they triggered the 5 event in every 2 seconds. Events are there, alert are there, but there is no alert generated for that. State is also showing processed. So they also mentioned discussion why no alert generated when 5 major alerts events are created within approximately 10 minutes, right? 10 seconds basically. And we can see the earlier configurations to be discussed on that one, which we had just did, right? But still, in my case, in the bot in 70 or 90, in the 70 they are generating the alert, right? Or in 90 they are generating the alert, but event rule is not triggering what I want basically, right? So that needs to be checked again. I will check and let you know the cause behind that. Don't worry. I don't want to be troubleshoot on this call and taking much time on those particular things. That is very small thing basically. Okay, any questions in that one? Basically, the funda of the threshold is clear, might be, right? Why we are using threshold,
you. Yeah, yeah, that is.
right? Configuring the event rule is something different way. I can do that, right? Now I just want to move out quickly on that, a good topic which we called alert aggregation, right? So till now, what we have covered basically, we have covered event management basics. We have covered push pull connectors, configurations, right? We have covered the mid server, which is normally part of it, right? And we have covered event rule. We have covered yesterday alert management rule. We have covered maintenance rule yesterday. We have also covered the alert grouping, how we can do alert grouping. Right now I just want to quickly summarize that how many alert groups are available here, right? So and how alert aggregation basically works, right? So alert aggregation basically there are two types, or not two types, there are 5 or 6 types basically. But how that will be grouping, that is the main agenda, right? Alert aggregation enhance alert correlation with data analysis, right? Here if you see on the right hand side, the same ci and the same metric, and the same ci but different metric. Same ci, the same metric, the Linux is 10, metric is CPU, Linux is 10, metric is CPU. If we are receiving that, we called alert aggregation, right? But if we are receiving same ci but different metric, that we called basically CMDB group, right? CMCI is the same, but metric are different. So that end of the day, they are going to be impact on the same or on only single business service or application service which is connected to that particular CI, right? So that's why we are going to say the CMDB group here, right? Now, in the next, we have alert aggregation, how alert aggregation works basically, right? So alert create automatic alert groups. So correlate alert according to timestamps and the CI identification to create automatic alert groups. So example here for creating or that will, you are not going to do anything here. That will create automatically alert grouping, automated alert group. What is the use of it? Basically, if the event or alert will be generating in a particular time period. So and they identify the CI as well, whatever alert type it is or whatever the metric of the alert it is. But if they are generating multiple alerts on the same CI within particular time frame, automatically they will create a alert group which we called automatic, based on the data learning on that particular alerts basically, right? Then CMDB groups, basically CMDB groups works on the same CIs as well as the CI relationships, right? So alert based on the CI relationships between alert CI, and no historical alert data available for these CI, and these are automatically correlated based on the relationships basically. So they are not going to use the historical, but they are going to use the relationships. If the same CI belongs to the same relationships type or the same thing, then it will going to be create CMDB alert group. And again, we have manual alert group as well, which we can create, right? If we have any doubt, we can select, you can select at least two alert, and they are not belongs to any alert group, make them one alert group, and one as the parent of the another alert. And an alert can be belongs only a single alert group. A close alert cannot be considered as a parent. And once you do that particular manual alert grouping couple of times, automatically ServiceNow machine learning, which we are using in the event management side, they will learn the patterns, how and why you are doing that same type of grouping, and next time automatically they will do the alert group, automated alert groups. Then you don't require to do manual alert grouping basically, right? So how that is that is working on the incoming real time alert to reduce the noise basically. So Arati, you asked me the different ways, right? This is one of the way to reduce the noise. Basically, when we have alert grouping, only one incident will be generating on it, right? Because they are belongs to the same machine. They are belongs to the same CI most of the time, right? So that is one thing. Next is these are the alert groups, all 7 types. Log analytics. So log analytics alert grouping basically works when you have, when the system define multiple logs analytics alert that are related in important ways. It groups them into a log analytics groups. Basically, when you are monitoring logs, then that will comes in the picture. Otherwise, it will not, right? Rule based, whenever you are going to be configure the alert correlation rule. Let me quickly show you. I think I already showcase you, but here correlation rules. This is rule based, right? If you go here, it's just simple, nothing, you know, there are lots of alert correlation rule as well. Let me open the existing one. Alert correlation rule sample, DNet trace alert correlation rule. Here, yeah, right? So you can use script here if you want to be to correlate alert, or you can use the filter conditions as well, right? So that is rule based correlation, where you can put the filter conditions and what will be the parent, what will be the child, and you can put whatever that script and how you want to be do that, right? So that is rule based. So rule based comes in the picture basically when you have some specific scenario and which you want to be used, right? So the specific scenario example, that can be possibility, like if you are using, let me give you an example, like if your network is down, right? And you want to be, when network is down, automatically you understand that your Windows server might be impacted, and you will receive the event from different monitoring source as well on the Windows, right? So you can create network event or network alert as a primary and other Windows as a secondary, and you can create alert group rule based correlation, right? Then that particular time that will comes in the picture basically, right? So you can configure that from here. The next is manual, which I already just discussed. Automated, it's required a plugin and have to at least 100 alerts. So automated will working on, the history data basically, right? If you have history data, they are trying to read that particular, they are trying to understand the trend, when that particular alert generated first, when the second alert generated, what will be the CI. So they that is simple, in simple words, they are going to be use those particular things as a machine learning, and then that will trigger automatic alert grouping, right? Then CMDB, which I just mentioned you, related to the CMDB relationships basically. Then text based NLP. If we want to do some grouping based on some specific description field, right? If you feel like, description contains CPU and you want to be correlate that particular event, you can use the text based, and then tag based cluster, right? So tag based cluster is just, it's released in the Vancouver, and that is something related to where you want to be used basic on the tags which is available on that particular event or alert, right? There are two properties basically, alert aggregation component properties, which we have to be enabled on the system property, that is assay analytics app learner grow group by property, and that set the property of this true, and we have to be configure alert aggregator learner basically, right? So and real time schedule jobs is there, which is triggering every minute, and update alert aggregation groups matching real time alerts and with alert patterns stored in the knowledge base basically. So this is all about that one, I think. How, as I just mentioned to you, how alert groups configured, these alert correlation rules that is there, you can configure that one. It's specifically mentioned, do not specify dynamic timer condition on the group. Same filter may slow down impact calculation. To solve this problem, adjust your query by adding an appropriate indexing, that we have to be take care, right? Priority, and this is about the priority, how the priorities will categorize. You will see on that particular alert, there is one severity and one is priority group, right? If you see in that, screenshot, this priority is severity is critical, but still priority is low. So how that will be? So here that will be alert group have a higher priority are brought up to that alert list. Priority group indicates which alert should be attended to first. So if priority group is high, that means it's top priority and we need to be resolve that particular alert as soon as possible. Priority is calculated for each open alert and then mapped into one of the four categories. Threshold on the calculator priority are used to determine which category the alert is mapped to. I think let me showcase you the priority somewhere. So this is tag based correlation. I will share that particular PPT to you. Impact calculation. I think impact. Yeah, this is I already showcased you, right? Impact calculation. How impact calculation works, how we can change the impact calculation if we want to be, right? How impact calculation works basically, impact rules, number of related active alert, past history of the affected CI, relationship between CI and particular business service, and how that is working, right? I just already showcased you. I think let me showcase you the priority one just now. Mhm. No. There is one metric in that in event management where, again, priority basically, learn by the data, whatever we are feeding on the event management on alert table basically, but there is some property. I just want to showcase that one. Connector properties, this. This is alert correlation properties basically. Enable alert aggregation for automatic CMDB and text based, yes or no. I'll enable alert aggregation for CI based automatic groups. Enable alert aggregation for CI class based automated groups, right? Enable CMDB alert aggregation for CMDB groups. Enable alert aggregation for text based groups, right? And CMDB property used for grouping alert in aggregation only for CI grouping and all, right? So, and how many till how many level you want to be check the relationships on in topology, right? So this is alert correlation properties. I just want to showcase you what I'm looking. Might be, naming is not change. Metric view, this SLA configuration, alert management rule. Hmm. I don't think so. Let me get back to you on this particular point, right? How that priority is going to be. There is some earlier there is something available in the event management itself where we can control the priorities, but I will check and let you know let you know on that particular point, right? So with this, I am almost covered the event management except the threshold thing. And if you want to be one moment, let me go to this. And let me go to the use cases basically. Threshold one I have covered. Event rules here I have filled binding. That is, yeah, quickly I just want to, this one as well. So event field mapping. I have missed this one. Right. So event field mapping, as I already mentioned, if you want to be transpose or transform, one value which is coming from the source to the on the target alert table basically, right? So if I just quickly open anyone existing, what they are doing, they are mapping that particular value what they are receiving, so an event on the target field. So what they are using, the name is hyper severity. Always remember, whenever you are putting the source name anywhere while you are writing event rule, while you are writing alert management rule or event field mapping, use the correct source name whatever you are receiving in your event. As I already mentioned, sometimes when you are doing, SNMP integrations, SNMP, right? So you are receiving that event source as a trap received OID XYZ, right? So use that one only as a source. And then we have to be put order mapping type. There are two things, a couple of things basically. So map field and transform value single field, create or update field and set contents constant value, map field copy field, map field and transform value using regex is also there, map field using regex, map field and copy map field from the reference table if we want to be take it from any different table, right? But when we are working that, these are not the options there. Now they have little bit streamlined. Whenever you want to be transpose that informations to in different things, you can do that, right? So here what they are doing, they are receiving 1 2 3, but at their side 1 2 3 means one is lower, two is little higher, and three is little higher, means three is critical basically in simple words if I say, and two is major, and one is warning example, right? But at ServiceNow side we have different severity values, right? One we have 5 is critical, then 4 is warning, and so, right? So whatever the value we have, what we want to be transpose, that we can use it, right? So 4 we are using here to transform one value as a warning, 3 I'm transferring as a major, right? And 2 I'm transferring as a minor example. So that what value we are getting, so that is not going to be change anything on the event, but when the things or mapping values are correct, that will transpose that don't alert correctly. If it is this is not there, sometimes your alert will also not created or ignored because they will not find the correct severity mapping. Now if tell you an example here, if in your event you are receiving severity is in different word, whatever they are using, if they are using major minor, or if they are not using major minor, they are using you know test, might be whatever the configuration they have it, right? But that is not belongs to service now, they are that particular is not matching with the service now, then it will create issues to you. So then in that case, you have to be transpose or transform that particular value which whatever receiving from the source to the target within ServiceNow for the severity specifically, because without severity, you cannot convert that event to an alert, right? And different values you can also, if you want to do that, it's also up to us, right? But so there are lots of, we can take a reference of it whenever we are going to be configure, and we can configure basically. Any questions in it? Lalit, Arati?
I'm good,
No, I
Ajay.
think I'm good.
Okay, now let me repeat once again. First, we need to be create event source, or we need to be understand what is the source of the event, how we can integrate using the push connector, pull connector, using the SNMP integrations and other different ways, right? Second, once that is done, we just need to test an event will be received in the event table. We need to write event. We need to first of all understand for 2 3 days data of the event, what is the flow, how they are coming, and we need to understand, or we need to be discussed with the customer to understand what they are actually working on that particular type of event and alert earlier, what is the process, what are the metrics they are using. Need to understand that one. Then based on the data analysis, we need to write event rule from event itself. Then we need to be write event field mapping. Then we need to be write alert management rules, and then we need to be write alert correlation rules. And as I already mentioned, that is event again, it's a slowly and gradually mature process. It is within 1 day, 1 day, or within 10 days, you will not see the value. It will take time, and whenever you are going to be integrate more and more monitoring source with that system, you will see that is going to be more mature, as well as the grouping and the different things will be happening more that side. I just quickly showcase you one more thing on alert. If I am on the alert table, let me, yeah. So if you see, grouping is already there, right? Automated secondary. Let me do group by. Oh, okay. The others are closed. So these are the automated groups which is opened and closed, right? Secondary is these particular alert events. Sorry, alert is passed off part of any alert grouping basically, right? And there is no alert grouping. So these are the normal alerts. And just want to add one more thing. Alert grouping is a different or new alert will be created by ServiceNow automatically to showcase the grouping. Don't be confused. That is a normal alert. Means that is not an alert which is converted by an event. In simple words, that is something which is ServiceNow created a new alert. There is no, if you are go, if you you are able to see secondary alert execution, but this is nothing. This is not a source. If you see, the source is group alert. This is not created by any event source or any event. This is created by ServiceNow based on the analysis or trends, just to showcase you these are, this is the alert, and alert grouping also showcase you to here as well. And here alert execution already done, right? So that is the use of it. I hope it's clear to you. I think that's all for today's session. Any questions on it now?
No, Ajay.
Ajay, how many more classes of this event management?
I think one more on the Monday.
Okay.
We
Got
covered almost only just priority one and which I just mentioned, threshold one, just to be clarify, you guys will not be going to be confused and what will be the issue. So we'll troubleshoot that as well. And after that, from Tuesday,
to
we'll start the service
review
mapping.
that, and
Sorry?
you want us to review that thing? What do you call? Do you want us to review the course exercises?
Definitely, it will be good for you guys if you can, on the weekend spend 1 or 2 hours to do that particular exercises. And when you are definitely doing, you are going to be in trouble, you are going to be in issues. Definitely, it will help to or involve, ask multiple questions on it, right? Otherwise, what I say, from my side, it's completed. But when you are doing, you will see, Ajay, that might be you missed it, or that issue we are faced, how we are going to be resolved. I don't have any issue to extend 1 or 2 days to be classes, right? I already mentioned on first day itself. I'm very open to help you out, whatever issues you have it. But till the time you are not coming to me, whatever I whatever I have in my checklist, I'm trying to cover those things only. I hope you understand, right? So please just invest some time and just do the some practices on those things. Guys, you're following me? Yes, no, maybe.
Sure, Ajay. Yeah,
Okay. I think, yeah, that's all. Any questions, last minute question before closing the session today?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you. Then have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye bye. See you on Monday.
thanks, Ajay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.